Hello. Weird. All right. Hi, YouTube world. Hi, lifestylers. It's Shakira coming at you like Cleopatra with um this week I learned, which is a new series I plan on having on this channel for things that I learned this week. So I'm gonna start with hi person that's here. Hello. Thank you for coming to the live. Say what's up in the chat. All right, so things I learned this week is Amanda Seals sing. Those of you that don't know, she's a Renaissance woman. She's Insecure. She played Tiffany, so she inspired this series here at Pale Black Girl Lifestyle. So this is called This Week I Learned. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I learned was that I got my notes. What is it? That I learned was that not to take coming home safely for granted. So I learned not to take coming home safely for granted because on Monday I was going out to the grocery store. I was just going there to get some groceries, get a couple of things, come back. I end up spending 2 hours in the grocery store. I got everything we need. I got the things for the cooking show and, regular household things. I get in the car. I'm a little tired from doing all that shopping, walking around all those couple of years, trying to make sure I get all the good sales. The store that I had on was really good. They had some really good sales going on, and I was able to get it. And then I was so anxious, just like being in the store, because I haven't really been around people, with the pandemic and everything. And so people like clustered together. And any other time, like before the pandemic, like it'd be okay to just go through there. But no, this time I was all anxious and I was walking around trying to make sure we need to get anything. And I was hungry. You should not go to the grocery store hungry. But that's something I already knew. So I get in the car, put all my groceries like in the back seat and in the trunk. I get in the car. I hear the heat come on. I was listening to Michelle Obama. I hear her a little bit, right? And then all of a sudden, everything just goes off. Try to turn the engine again. Nothing is happening. Like nothing at all is happening. And I'm like, this has never happened before. I don't know what to do. So I called my cousin. Cousin, he wasn't available. So then I called my uncle. He was available. He gives me some good advice. I follow up what he says. I end up talking to the insurance people. She tells me that ask me what I want, like if I need a tow or if I need if I need to jump. I was like, I don't know. I just want to go home. I got all these groceries. I already been out. I'm not really used to being out. And so I call her. She gets all the information that she needs to get from me. Then a little while later, I get a text from the tow company saying that they need to, they just basically need to confirm the information that I gave to the insurance person, and I'm keep calling, like, so everything's good to go. I'm thinking I'm clear. I'm getting a text to say what time they coming. Then it gets extended, and then it gets extended. So all this time, I'm waiting for them inside of the grocery store, which is not a very bad place to be stuck in, really, because I got my food. I was warm. Oh, and then it was snowing outside. Here we were supposed to get like 6 inches of snow or whatever. So I'm sitting there waiting around. So I sit on the bench at the grocery store, and then I walk around. I alternate between telling them, try and find out the status of the tow truck, and then walking around the store. I ain't buying nothing. I mean, I bought a little bit of food. I'm ready to eat because I was starting to get hungry. Yeah. So I was starting to get hungry. So I finally get the text message that the tow truck is coming. So that's when I go outside and I saw those lights. I saw the lights of the tow truck, so I start flagging them down in my little thing. And then he comes up to me. He steps out. I swear he was wearing a cape. It was like such a heroic moment. It was like, yes, finally get to go home. So he puts the jumper cables on the battery, and I see a spark, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. I was like, is this good? This is a good thing. I get in the car, turn the engine. First, it didn't go. So he did like about 2, 3 times, and then it actually started to go. And y'all, I was just so glad to be able to go back home. So I learned that that's the first thing that I learned was not to take coming back home for granted. Cause yeah, yeah. So that's the thing I learned. Then the second thing that I learned was that for those of you that are new to the channel, it's a channel. It's my channel. There's some poetry on there, and I learned that poetry pays. Those of you that are outside of the Chicago area, every year before the pandemic, the Guild Literary Complex, which is a literary organization in the city of Chicago, they host the Gwendolyn Brooks Open Mic Award. And Gwendolyn Brooks was a phenomenal poet. She really focused on everyday struggles. She wrote about simple things very elegantly. And she wanted to support younger poets and encouraging them. So she put together a competition. I mean, it's not really like a competition, but it's more, yeah, like a competition where people will have a prize. And every year before she died, she would personally like write out a check to people that won. One of the winners, he has a story about how he won, and then he was so excited to have Miss Brooks autograph that he didn't know the night he should go to the bank and actually cash out the check and use it, or keep the check. But I believe he did cash that check because So every year I'll be doing that. I'll at least make it to the semifinals, but not the finalist round. And last year with the pandemic, they didn't have it at all. They were trying to do it virtually, but for some reason, that really just didn't work out. But instead of doing that, I was able to teach 2 workshops at the Chicago Public Library, and I ended up getting paid for those. So poetry really does pay. It took a while, but now we're here. I was just really glad to be acknowledged for my work, and it like to get money for something that I actually really really like doing was just like phenomenal to me because I've been writing since forever, since I was 10, and like here and there I will get amounts, but this really validated and it encouraged me, and I guess it's nice to be recognized in such a way as that, especially monetarily. Those of you that are here, please like, helps the channel. So that's the second thing that I learned. So first thing is do not take coming home safely for granted. Second one was poetry pays. Oh, back on that. And the links in the description, you all will be able to I have a link to the Word Fetty open mic, which is every fourth Sunday of the month, which is a showcase for established and emerging artists. So if you sing, dance, want to tell some jokes, this is a platform for you as well. And before that, that's where I teach the writing workshops. And we be writing. So that's before that. The link to that should be down in the description. If not, it'll be there in future videos. Okay. Third thing, bam, is that I learned to incorporate feedback. So this week I was playing around with the Melinda Sweet Thai Chili Sauce series here on my channel. There's another video coming up. Lord willing, it'll be up Monday. So that series will be completed and we'll be moving on to the next thing here at Pale Black Girl Lifestyle, which is going to focus on Black History Month. And February is Black History Month, so we're going to do something to celebrate ourselves and our culture. Got something coming up with that. Brain is still rattling around with ideas about how to make that practical for you good people. So back to this Melinda, I learned to incorporate feedback because my very, very good friend, Joy, she has a channel on YouTube. I'll put that down in the description too. Looked at the video and was like, girl, your personality is shining here. And it would be a little bit better if you did maybe add some graphics here. Like the graphics here are really working. That'd be really cute. And it was funny. And just to make sure, like, and I had some issues with the audio that she noticed that I wanted her to look at. So I fixed all of that. So you all will have a great video. I really like it. I'm really proud of it. I sent her another cut of it. I keep wanting to call it a draft because as a writer, we do drafts. As a writer, we do drafts. So I keep wanting to call it draft, but I gave her another cut of it. So she's going to be looking at that soon to get me some feedback going on. And then I could deliver it to you good people. So I learned how to incorporate that feedback. And I've been using OpenShot to make the video. It's a free open source software. Okay. Then I learned about DNS, which is part of the internet. So it's like your computer, then it's the internet, and then the DNS connects your computer to the website. So my internet, I was doing something yesterday, and then I just couldn't get to the internet. So I went to So I went to the YouTube. I went to the YouTube to see if I could find a tutorial about the problemo. And boom, it was there. So I followed along with the instructions and then I was able to get to the internet. So now I could do what I wanted to do with all of you good people. So now we're here talking because on the internet works. So amazing. All right. So that's what's that? My fourth thing that I learned. And the last thing, that's the last thing. And the last thing that I learned was last thing that I want to share was learned is there's a YouTuber on here named Sense of Salt. And his name is Patrick in real life, and he does fragrances. I'm like fragrance adjacent. I'm not really, I only have one fragrance. I talked about it before in my live. I plan on doing a fragrance review video of it. I only have one, but back to the sentence of Patrick. His videos are funny. It gives you really good notes about how the fragrances smell. He's been new to it. He just started really getting into fragrances about December. And he has this really dry, deadpan humor that's funny. He edits his videos very well. So it's very good content. I was up watching the videos all until about 2 o'clock in the morning. He does one about cool water, about a fragrance that got him into it. The last one I remember is like a fragrance head anonymous thing that he has, and he plays all these different characters inside it. I just have not seen fragrance videos like that at all. The fragrance community is very, very sweet though. Like there's my cousin Lulu, probably talk about her a lot there. There's Uncommon Sense, and there's Dr. Rose, and so I just and Amina fragrances with Amina. She's very nice, and they just are very, very passionate about fragrances. Like they're up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning talking about notes, base notes, mid notes. You think you think they doing a choir all the notes that they be talking about instruments, but I have all right. I really like to hear what they are talking about. It's very calming to learn about a different genre of YouTube. Because with YouTube, it's like whatever you like, it's a whole bunch of people doing that. So those are the main things that I learned this week that I wanted to share with y'all. Also, let's keep in memory of Cicely Tyson. She is a groundbreaking artist. She did not look her age. As most black women do. She did not look her age. I personally had the pleasure of hearing her speak at my church here in Chicago a long time ago. And she also has a book that's coming out. Like her book just came out. And she most notably in my head, she played Viola Davis's mother and How to Get Away with Murder. And their scenes together, which is so powerful and so touching. Especially the scene where she's doing where Annalise's mother is doing her hair, which is just very touching, and it was just very real. And so those were the things that I learned this week. So thank you all so much for tuning into this. People are still here. You just say hi and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And Lord willing, hopefully I will be seeing you all or hearing from you all next week. Let me know if this is something that you want me to keep going. I appreciate you. Put that down in the comments. Thank you. Bye.